Welcome to this explainer. All right, let's dive right into a beautifully polarizing timepiece that frankly completely shocked the watch industry this year. If you can picture the kind of luxury product release that feels like a high-end cinematic documentary, complete with dramatic lighting and suspense, well, that is exactly the energy surrounding the Tudor Monarch. It's an absolute anomaly in the brand's modern catalog, and today we are going to break down exactly why it has everyone talking.
So, to really set the stage here, Geneva was absolutely buzzing. This quote perfectly captures the exact sentiment on the ground when the curtain finally dropped on Tudor's 2026 Watches and Wonders lineup. Amidst all the usual, highly anticipated incremental updates we've come to expect, this watch just emerged from the shadows and caught even the most seasoned enthusiasts completely off guard.
Section 1: The Unexpected Tudor Release. Defying 100 years of tradition. Let's explore how a brand known for incremental, heritage-driven evolution suddenly threw their established rulebook right out the window.
Now notice the dramatic historical pivot here. We start back in 1926 with the registration of the Tudor name marking a full century of history. And if you look at the 1990s, the Tudor Monarch name actually existed, but those watches were, well, incredibly traditional and conventional. But look at 2026. The modern reinterpretation takes that legacy and steers it into a completely avant-garde, almost uncategorizable direction. I mean, it's not strictly a dress watch, nor is it a pure sports watch. It deliberately defies those neat organizational buckets we love to put things in.
Moving on to Section 2, a bold new silhouette, the architecture of the Monarch. Let's analyze the cinematic angles that make this case entirely unique in the modern catalog.
Just picture the gleam of the high polish under some really premium lighting. What we have here is a 39mm modified barrel shape with a highly faceted 8-sided silhouette. It is incredibly architectural. This octagonal geometry actually subtly nods to another major milestone, the original 1926 Rolex Oyster case from Tudor's corporate sibling. So it's a reinterpretation that brings a sharply modern edge to a deeply historical form.
Notice how all these elements work together, starting right with that flush crown. Because it sits flush to the case, it totally eliminates visual distraction, allowing these decisive, aggressively machined angles to take center stage. But it's still super functional, offering a rib texture for grip, and it's signed simply with circular text reading Tudor Monarch. Add in 100 meters of water resistance, sharply polished lugs that pop against the satin interiors, and an aggressively ridged exhibition case back, and honestly, you have perhaps the most dramatically finished case Tudor has ever produced.
And the tactile experience is really elevated by this uncharacteristically sharp 2-link bracelet. It features vertically brushed H-links paired with these prism-like polished central links. It drapes beautifully on the wrist and pairs securely with Tudor's highly regarded T-Fit micro-adjustment system tucked inside a finely machined clasp. It guarantees a perfect fit to match that avant-garde appearance.
This right here brilliantly illustrates why it wears so well. On paper, a distinctively angled case might sound a bit intimidating, but look at the actual footprint. The Monarch measures 46.2 millimeters lug to lug, making it significantly more compact across the wrist than the beloved Black Bay 58, which sits closer to 47.5 millimeters. So, despite its bold presence, the engineering ensures exceptional wearability for pretty much any wrist size.
Section 3, the unconventional California dial. Vintage attitude, modern execution. We are going to peel back that boxed sapphire crystal and examine the dial, a canvas where Tudor combines several highly unusual, vintage-inspired design decisions.
So Tudor calls this incredible finish papyrus. It's this warm champagne, copper-adjacent tone featuring a deeply textured vertical pattern. There is absolutely nothing like this in Tudor's current repertoire. The way the light interacts with that vertical brushing gives the watch this incredibly luxurious retro-modern glow that is just stunning in person.
Now, building on that dial, the Monarch's unique layout uses what's known as a California dial, Roman numerals on top, Arabic numerals on the bottom. This specific error-proof format has some really deep corporate heritage, originally patented by Rolex way back in 1942. Tudor actually dabbled with it in the early 2000s on a few Prince models, and now, here in 2026, it finds a striking new home on the Monarch.
Pay close attention to the specific details here. The handset features anthracite, skeletonized snowflake hands. They have this slightly gothic appearance that perfectly complements that striking papyrus dial. You've also got an applied neo-vintage shield up at 12 o'clock, which is a fantastic callback to older models. But perhaps most notably, the entire package opts for zero applied lume. None.
It's a really bold choice that pulls your eye right into the warm texture of the dial without any modern luminous distractions getting in the way.
Section 4. Modern Master Chronometer Caliber. The engineering within. Because while the exterior of this piece is a vintage-inspired anomaly, the mechanics driving it are heavily engineered and aggressively modern.
65, that is the impressive 65-hour power reserve delivered by the Kenissi-produced MT5662-2U automatic movement. What that means for you is you can literally take this watch off on a Friday evening, set it on your dresser, and it'll still be ticking perfectly when you pick it up on Monday morning.
Tudor's honestly flexing some serious technical prowess here. This 32-jewel movement features a traversing balance bridge for enhanced shock resistance and a silicone hairspring for anti-magnetism. It's got a variable inertia balance with a micro-adjustment screw, hacking capabilities, you can set the time precisely to the second, and it beats at a buttery smooth 28,800 vibrations per hour.
And to earn that meta-ass master chronometer status you see outlined here, the requirements are absolutely grueling. After proving it's Swiss-made and COSC certified, the fully cased-up watch is tested across 6 positions. It must maintain an extreme accuracy of 0 to +5 seconds per day across differing temperatures and different states of wind. Plus, it has to survive massive magnetic fields up to 15,000 Gauss. This is just top-tier, no-compromise modern watchmaking.
But it doesn't just perform beautifully. It looks the part too. Looking through that aggressively ridged sapphire caseback, you're greeted with finishing that genuinely rivals the watch's luxury positioning. You'll see Côtes de Genève on the bridges, perlage on the main plate right beneath the balance, an openwork rotor with beautifully beveled edges, and even 18-karat gold inlay for the text engravings. It far exceeds the standard industrial executions you'd normally expect at this level.
Section 5. A cult classic verdict. The double experience. This brings us to the final chapter of our explainer, the massive shift in perspective between seeing this watch on a screen and actually wearing it on your wrist.
At a recent flagship boutique event in Cleveland, with nearly 100 Tudor watches on display, the Monarch was by far the most requested try-on. People would pick it up out of pure curiosity, strap it on their wrist, and consistently produce this exact same reaction. Wow, this is a lot better in person than I expected. It completely catches people off guard.
So, why does it work so well? It challenges everything you've probably come to associate with modern Tudor. It completely refuses to fit into a singular lane. It's distinctive, sure, but never gimmicky. It is incredibly well finished without feeling overly precious or delicate. Essentially, Tudor took a lesser explored corner of its own design history, let it fully mature, and combined highly unusual design decisions into a timepiece that honestly works far better than logic suggests it ever should.
The Monarch practically demands that you experience it firsthand to really understand its tactile allure. I mean, it is destined to be debated by enthusiasts for years to come. So, what camp are you in? Love it or hate it? Are you ready to see past the expectations and experience the most polarizing cult classic of the year for yourself? Thank you for joining me for this explainer, and keep questioning what you expect from the world of horology.